here is the next deal. All right, Jorge. It says fourplex or eightplex. I'm not quite sure. Is this two buildings? Is this a fourplex you want to make into an eightplex? Notice I haven't even gotten to the paragraph and I'm just trying to understand. Let me see. Remodeled as in and in great shape. Should be sold. Ah, okay. Got it. Okay. So at $105 per square foot, each building has 8 bedrooms, 6 baths. Interesting. So it's a 2-bed. How does that work? So okay, some of them have more bathrooms. Top condition in the center of Miami and close to downtown. Coral Gables in the airport, close to the major expressways, new kitchens, new bathrooms, new AC in most of the units. Regular sale total of both buildings is 4-bed, 2-bath, 2-bed, 1-bath. Got it. Status, backup contract, not surprised. Apply the 50% rule and expenses would be in the 1,000 in cash flow. Possibly. Let me see. So, okay, so all right, Jorge's got some experience here. So we're talking, so let's do the math. Let's look at it. We've got, so what we're going to do, okay, first of all, let me go on record as saying this. As a real estate entrepreneur, don't think of yourself as just an investor. As a real estate entrepreneur, what we do is we solve problems. One of the problems that we solve is we provide affordable housing. What do I mean by that? That doesn't necessarily mean low income, but it does mean that the property is made affordable to live in. So someone may want to live in a $500,000 place, but just because they want to live there doesn't mean they have access to or have a $500,000. But Mr. Investor comes along, he plunks down the $500,000 and has the ability to say, here, then you can stay, thus making housing affordable. The other thing that we do is we solve real problems, big problems in terms of condition of real estate, that type of thing. So this one is all about making housing affordable because it doesn't sound like there's a whole lot of problems, which I guess is fine. I like problems in my real estate because I want to clean that up and get discounts. But, okay, so we've got, I think he's I think I know where this is going. So he's saying from the 2-bedroom, 1-bath units, we're going to have $1,920 a month. From the 2-bedroom, 2-bath units, we're going to have $2,200 a month. And he's saying from the laundry room, $30 per pet. Okay, I like where you're going. By the way, that's a real smart move. I like what he did here. You may not realize this, but oftentimes when people get encountered, when you become a landlord, you start thinking about the condition of your property. And what you want to do is you want to think about making it enjoyable for your tenant to use your property. And there are a lot of tenants out there who love their Fidos and their Fluffies, pets, okay? And what he did here, I think it's one of the smartest things ever for those of you who want to take over a particular demographic. What you do is instead of taking a higher security deposit, because a security deposit, when you take it, psychologically, it doesn't actually work to your benefit. Because then the tenant is thinking, hey, it doesn't matter, destroy it. We just won't get our security deposit back. No big deal. On the other end, and plus, as a security deposit, it shows up as a liability on your balance sheet that you must protect and control and all these other things. We don't want that. The other side is, as a $30 per month income, it's income. That's what I like. $30 per month charge is an income, and you get to take that and spend it and use it in any way you like. So that's very, very smart. Definitely love that play. But $30 per pet, so you're counting on pets, and you're counting on them using the laundry service for an extra $100 a month. No problem. So I'm assuming when I add up those numbers, I'm going to end up with the same number you got. I'm going to add up 1920 plus 2200 plus 100, 4220. That should be the same number that you got. Perfect. So at the 4220, that is the monthly gross income. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply that by 12, and that's going to give me a new number, 50,640. and that's going to be my AGSI, right? Now, many of you, if you've already done the math, you know it's going to fail the second test. Again, this happens a lot in high demand jurisdictions simply because it's A-class property. It's designed, my formulas are designed for you to go out there and find real estate problems and enjoy the forced appreciation, not to buy something that's already done retail. I want you to enjoy the problems, enjoy the appreciation of learning how to settle problems, how to solve those problems. Anyway, so you've got an adjusted gross scheduled income of $50,640. That's fine. Then what we have is we're going to have a 50% expense ratio. So we're going to just divide that by 2. It's going to be 25,320. Which is going to give us an NOI of 25,320. And then let me go back to find your next part of the question. It says apply the 50% rule. We have 27,300 in expenses, and it'll be 1,036 in cash flow. Let's see. So, okay, so then I think I know what you're saying here. We're going to take that NOI, and here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to divide that by 2, and I'll explain this one in a minute. That's 12,660 minus 12,660, which is going to leave us 12,660, which would be on a monthly basis, divided that number by 12, is I've got 1055 is the number I've got. So it's 1055 here and 1055 here. So let's see. Yeah, perfect. I think I understand. So yes. So in this particular case, if you continue to do the numbers the way that I do them, that's exactly right. You're going to end up with 1,055 for you. Now, here's the thing. If you're going to raise private capital, for this particular transaction, I want you to understand and see that what you have is 1055 or 12,660 and on a monthly basis to be able to give away. So this is assuming you're going to raise the entire amount that you need. So in this case, I believe that number was $400,000. So if you raise the $400,000 you need, this is what you're paying as a return, $12,660. And let's just do the math. So we've got $12,660 over the $400,000. And that's going to give your investors on this particular deal, 12,660. Sorry, and there you go, 12,660 divided by 400,000. It's going to give them a 3.17% rate of return. Now, some of you might say that's too low, and it all depends on your investor identity. For example, let's do this. Let's go over to the web and let me show you something. When you look at websites like this, bankrate.com, obviously, I'm not getting paid by them or anything of that nature, guys. I'm just trying to show you. When you see a 5-year CD at 1.5%, which is technically unsecured or secured by the full faith and credit of the bank and FDIC, so depending on how much you trust those two entities, then great, you got 1.5%, which, by the way, isn't tax deferred or tax advantaged in any way. Or you can be a part of my deal and get 3.17%. Now, if you're talking to the person who's looking at that and that's what they're currently using to store their money in, that doesn't mean the 3.17% return can't be too bad. It's double what they're currently getting if they have a 5-year CD. So there's many ways to position this once you've done the numbers to figure out how things are going to work and if it'll work for you. Again, it's down to their investor identity. And for those of you who've been following along with the profit analysis quadrant and whatnot, you know I'm talking, this is a quadrant 3 deal. That's what this is. This is a total quadrant 3 deal. And when it's in quadrant 3, you have the ability to make these types of things happen. Well, actually, that's not a quadrant 3 deal. Now that I'm thinking about it, the way that I structured it is actually a quadrant 1 deal. They're going to have a percentage of the equity so that they can get a percentage of the cash flow in this particular case. And you might as well give them the equity. Why? Because you're not participating in any forced equity. Any equity that does happen will be through passive equity or inflated equity. So you don't have any control over that, so no big deal. So in this particular case, it could be a good deal. That's how I would structure it though. If you find the right person who has a CD or certificate of deposit, knock yourself out, have fun. And you could be able to make a decent amount of cash for everybody involved. So that's one way to definitely put that.